This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Today is a very unique kind of subject, and I think it has to do with a couple of things that I've done lately. As you know, I've been doing a lot of print and play stuff, but also there was a game that recently came out via Kickstarter, and I just got it in, and that is Dungeon Saga Origins from our good friends at Mantic. Now, I opened up the box and started taking a look, and I paid quite a bit for it. And I started scratching my head in a way and started wondering, you know, seeing how things cost nowadays and the price of things. A board game, a decent sized board game, is up around $100. And I wonder if we're pricing people out of the hobby in a way. There's only so much print and play that you can do or supplement, but there's a lot of beautiful and wonderful games that people want to play, and they're running anywhere from $60 to $100. Especially if you have anything with figures or specialization or expansions included in it. Sometimes it exceeds even that. Of course, there are smaller Euro games, but even those, you open up the box, there's not a lot of stuff in there. And are board games getting to the point where we could possibly end up pricing ourselves or pricing the fans out of the hobby? Which, for me, the way I look at it is, what it kind of hurts a lot of people is if the prices are going to go up on board games continually. I think you'll always have fans that will always pay those prices no matter what. But then you're going to have a certain group, a majority of the group, that are going to have to be selective, very selective. If they want a game from Awakening Realms or some of these bigger companies that do some of these big epic games, which are very attractive and very popular to a lot of people, but instead of having it at a reasonable price, it becomes a point where the game ends up pushing people away from things that they normally would do. I think 5-6 years ago, people were able to buy 5 out of 5 games. Now they have to take a look as these prices continually go up and maybe be a little bit more choosy. Maybe they can only buy 2 of those games. And it becomes a thing where you kind of wonder, does this become a thing where they get, fatigue and you can't afford to get some of the things that you want. Now, there's always that thing where not getting everything is a good thing, because at least you want something or have a desire to save up and get something. But does it hurt some games that are really, really good and on that borderline that would have normally have been successful, but because they are pointed one way, that game gets overlooked? And I mean by overlooked, it's like I have to choose between game A that's going to cost $200 or game B that costs $125. Well, I kind of really want this game A, where if both games were $100, you would be able to get both. And some really good games get passed over, and it hurts certain companies. As prices go up on board games, does it become so hard for companies to survive? Are we going to run into a time where one mishit can destroy a company? We've seen a lot of companies go under in the last year. Mostly because of the fallout from from COVID, not being able to sustain or get things to people in time, or being able to finish certain projects and just could, the money runs out. And you know is it where I feel that this really kind of helps a game found or a Kickstarter in a way, where most of the games really where things become kind of like a pre-order system to sustain these companies that are going to need to charge more, because that's prices and shipping and all these other things, because they're not just raising the price tag just to go, well, we need to make more, or we suffered this, or we're greedy or something. It's everything's going up. Cardboard's going up. Artists are charging more. Production costs more. Getting it over on a ship, shipping is ridiculous. And there's a lot of factors that are causing the rise and cost of a lot of games. And if you put everything that you have into a game and go, okay, well, we believe in this game and we're going to make this game, and it comes out at a wrong time when maybe 4 or 5 other big games come out, does that, and you get overlooked, does that crush that company? Can they survive that, with the way things cost nowadays? Are we getting to a point where, maybe less is more? That, the fewer games that we see come out a year gives everybody a chance to win. This year at Spiel, there were a lot of games that came out. Not as many at Gen Con as usual, but this is also, we're in a transition, just after this whole COVID thing and all this other stuff, where we're kind of, people are just starting to get momentum again and start going again, and we're starting to function again a certain way. We've been in a recession, so that hurts a lot of people. And is it discouraging for a lot of people that there's so many things coming out that look fantastic, and yet, you have to choose because you can't afford all of them. I had to use up some credit I had, and there were like 4 or 5 games, and for the amount of credit that I had, what I ended up with was like 2 or 3 games. I don't want to say how much credit there was, but it was a good amount. You think you would have got 10 games out of that, but I didn't. I only got a few games, and I'm sitting there going, wow. And then you get the games in, and you open up the boxes. There's not a lot in there. What are you paying for? And you just realize that things are just costing more and more and more. You take a great game like Table Golf Association, which, to have those wooden blocks, it was costly for John to make that game. So he came out with another version of it, the big box, the Ultimate Family Edition, and he was able to put that out for $99. That's still quite a bit, and that's no fault of John's, but it's a sign of the time how much things cost. And here's a guy that's trying to make something affordable for people, and still, tough to do in some ways. And I wonder if it becomes that a lot of companies get hurt because people have to be more choosy. I mean, you're always going to have that guy out there that the fear of missing out and has to buy everything, and even that, for me, I've been passing over things. Okay, I've been going, and kind of, if I was throwing around money like I used to, I would have brought that old world in from Warhammer, but I looked at the price tag, $249 just for one army, and I went, okay, you get the book, you get this, you get that, $500 to put that on my table, and I went, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna I'm going to get different things that are affordable. Hopefully people send things to the channel so I can review it, because in my situation it's easier because I'm trying to show you guys more stuff so you can be more choosy and make the right decisions. But in the end, even I'm starting to be even choosy, going, well, maybe that, maybe not that, maybe not that, maybe not that, but I'll try that. And just find things that I think I'm really going to enjoy. Or I start watching even other channels and go, well, geez, let me see how this is. Let me see what this looks like before I try to bring this in and see if it's something that, my community will enjoy. And taking a little bit more of a back seat. Go ahead, yeah. You wanna be the one to push it out there first, or if I can rely on certain companies to send stuff, that's always a good thing. But that's far and few between. And thank God for companies like GMT and stuff like that, or else it'd be really hard to keep the channel going. And I'm blessed for that. You guys, I have a lot more sympathy for, because you're relying on your paychecks. Well, okay, just paid the taxes, paid the car, I got this much left over, we can go out to eat and maybe get whatever for this much. Okay? And then you have to be choosy, and you have to rely on people like me and other great people that do this, to give you ways to have your hobbies go. And that's why one of the reasons I've been just really pushing the print and play stuff, or some of these smaller independent people that are putting out some fantastic stuff. It's not that I don't love the people that put out the big stuff. It's just sometimes we don't have the money. Times are tough. I know it's not easy here. I've been through a really bad sickness. It cost me a lot of money to get through that. And I don't have the money to throw at things the way I used to. So now I have to be smart, choosy, educated, take my time with things, and really concentrate. Thank God I have all this, because I can always tap this, and I think a lot of you do too. And I think that it kind of helps us in a way. It's not the worst thing, but it's bad for the overall business. But for those of us that have been just filling our shelves, and we have things still in wrappers, it's time to look at some of that stuff. It's time to open up some of that stuff and go, yeah, something? Let's tackle this instead of spending another $200 or $150. And I think, in a way, there are pluses and minuses in this whole thing. But could this be devastating? How long can you sustain and the prices go up, and people be able to still be in the hobby, And if prices keep on excelling, what is $150? What value do you get for a $150 board game or a $100 board game? Do you get the playability? Is it a one-time playthrough and that's it? Because the rules and things like that don't change. So you have to be choosy. How much replayability am I going to be able to get out of this experience? Is it something that's going to be so fun we're going to want to play it again? Or is it just going to sit on my shelf and that's a waste of a $100 bill? There's a lot of things that people are going to be thinking about coming up in the future. And this is a very hard thing for companies nowadays. This is something that is very difficult, because they have to be smart in what they do, choosy in what they do, and educated in the things that they want to show, that they want to put out for people to purchase. And they want to survive as much as people want to still enjoy this wonderful hobby. Can they survive? Can we help them survive? Or are things going to get so tough and so high priced that we just price all of ourselves out of this hobby? It's something I've been wondering lately. especially with the last two things I've had to purchase, and just sat there shaking my head. I go, I don't know how long I can keep going like this, but thank God I've got this here to showcase with you guys, and we'll keep doing our thing. So I would love to hear your comments on this. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you feel, and how you guys are reacting to the higher prices and things like that. I look forward to everything that you have to say, and I can't wait to hear from you soon. So until next time, it's your old Power Up. We'll see you soon, everybody.